What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is all about PUBG Season 9. We're going to be doing like a leak rumor roundup, going over everything that we know confirmed and what's speculated to come for Season 9, which drops in like 2 weeks. It's supposed to come out on the 22nd for PC and the 30th for console, which means we likely will see patch notes and maybe even a test server drop next week on the 14th. So fingers crossed on that. Before we jump into the actual video, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. I'm still working a split night shift for work, so the stream schedule's whacked, the YouTube schedule's whacked. I apologize about that. Thank you for staying patient with me through this. I'll have this video coming up hopefully tonight or tomorrow. I'll have a recap video of the new Halloween skins, which look really cool, coming out very soon, and then also a video on PUBG's new top-down shooter game that they teased a couple days ago. All right, but back to Season 9. Enjoy the video. All right, now before we jump into any of the speculation and details about what's coming for Season 9, I want to be fully transparent. All the information I'm getting is from the tweets of Alex, the PUBG dev, Player IGN, and Player IGN's YouTube video, along with PUBG's YouTube video. So just want to give the shout-outs where credit's due there and get that out the way. All right, so what do we know about Paramo so far? Well, number one, it's going to be centralized around this whole idea of a volcano, maybe some kind of like map shifting dynamic or some kind of like levolution, like for those who remember Battlefield 4, something similar to that, maybe. But Alex, the PUBG dev, tweeted this out about the volcano. Now, this was hinted at like months ago too, but they're obviously reiterating the fact that the volcano is going to play a pretty crucial role into the map's design element, which is really, really cool. Now, in this little teaser image that Alex, the PUBG dev, tweeted out, you can see that this is part of the map's terrain. So this is going to give us a pretty good idea of how the map's going to look. Now, this whole like blacked out area here, I think this is from where a volcano maybe erupted and the lava came down. So I would bet that this top portion is what most of the map's going to look like, kind of like this rocky, grassy terrain. Now, there'll probably be some areas that have more green than others, some areas that are a little more barren than others, but we can tell from the teaser images and what we've gathered, it's going to be like a jungle / ruins type map, which I think has a really cool sounding vibe to it. Now, in this particular image, we'll jump into a few more details. Like I just mentioned, I think this is from the volcano coming down into this area and kind of charring the area. Now, whether or not this is like this from the get-go, or if this is only once the volcano erupts and it kind of goes down this way, I think that's going to be a really cool map change design. And maybe it kind of blocks off part of the map where while the lava is there for a certain amount of time, you can't cross it. They have these bodies placed here as either a teaser for what kind of camo we can see represented in this area, or maybe this is something like where it's saying, hey, if you get caught right here, like in this area when the volcano erupts, like you're dead. This will be your dead carcass or something. I don't know. And I just noticed this on the bottom here, this little red flare gun or something down. I can't really make it out, but I don't know. So we'll see. A lot of this information, like I said, is from Player IGN. He's been sent one of the 9 pieces of this Paramo lore along with some other PUBG partners. And I won't go into detail about it. You can go watch his video. It's pretty cool though. They have a little like decipher code that they sent, and they have to get all the pieces together and kind of figure out what the lore is telling them. But it is pretty interesting stuff. And the most interesting part that I found so far is that it seems that we've gotten our first teaser image of what the map's size is going to look like. So that really hasn't been clarified yet. And this is a top-down perspective of the Season 9 Paramo map. Shout out to ASJ Sapphics on Twitter, and then Player IGN retweeted it. And they even removed this little middle image I'll show you. So here is what potentially the top-down version of the map looks like. And this is it without any kind of overlay on it. Now, what I find the most interesting about this is, number one, like I said, I think this map's going to have a lot of green terrain with some barren areas. You can see a little gray, a little tan around here and there. And there's going to be some cities you can see already formed here. But what I find really interesting is this little bit right here. So this is what I think that teaser image that Alex tweeted out, this here. So I think that area of the map is where the volcano erupts and potentially, cuts off that section of the map temporarily or permanently. And so maybe the map doesn't look like this the entire time. Maybe at first it's all the same design, and then after the map erupts, then this volcano, which I'm assuming is kind of up here at the top of the map, it can kind of come down here and like cut off sections of the map or something. I don't know. So that's going to be really cool to figure out. I really hope the volcano replaces the idea of the red zone. I think we all at this point agree the red zone's dumb, needs to be removed. The black zone on Karakin was really well done, so hopefully they do something similar to this here. Now, I don't know about you guys, but judging based off the size of that image we just saw, it looks like it's going to be another Vikendi or Sandhawk size map and not something more favorable like an Erangel or Miramar size. The little image I have up here shows you the actual size of Sandhawk, Vikendi, Erangel, Miramar, Karakin, and then the training ground here. So I'm thinking somewhere in between Sandhawk and Vikendi. I would hope at least Vikendi size personally. All right, so now let's talk about a couple of new features and items that have been hinted at for Season 9, especially for Paramo. So the number one most obvious elephant in the room is this map going to have a revive system? It was hinted at in the PUBG lore video. They referenced like a fountain of youth. What if the good never had to die? And
what if the good didn't have to die at all? The legend of the Fountain of Youth has tantalized explorers throughout history.
And I made a little Twitter video a couple weeks or a month back or so about my ideas on a respawn or buyback system into PUBG. It got a lot of comments, some positive, some negative. We went over the pros and cons, and I think there's a strong argument, at least for the casual PUBG player base, of why a respawn feature would be cool. It would be really neat to see them implement something like that on Paramo. If they do, my wager is that it's only a map-specific test until they figure out if people like or don't like it, and they either remove it or they add it to the other map. So we'll see. But it would be a very PUBG thing for them to do, to add it to only one map at a time. So we'll see. Alex tweeted out a goodie box that says, please handle with care, fragile. And it's a red crate. So to me, this looks to be like another loot crate or weapon crate that'll maybe be found in Paramo. There are going to be a lot of little ruins areas in Paramo to be explored. It would be kind of neat if these were RNG spawned and hidden in some of these secret caves of Paramo. We've seen them do something similar to that, like the bunker in boot camp, although it doesn't have great loot, but they did have the loot cave on Vikendi, for those who remember that. So that would be a cool little thing for them to add. So PUBG also added this motorcycle / dirt bike into the game. It's probably going to be a Paramo specific thing only, and it looks fun. It sounds awesome. It's very, very maneuverable, so perfect for this kind of style of terrain, like very rocky and hilly. But they said you can also shoot from it. Now I'm assuming it's probably only going to be single handed weapons only, but how sweet would it be if you could crossbow snipe people from something like this? The meme potential out of that is tenfold. So I have high hopes for the new dirt bike coming to PUBG. All right, so now let's move on to the new modes coming to PUBG Season 9. Number one is ranked solo, confirmed to be added for Season 9 when it drops on the 21st rather. And the big elephant in the room here is, what are they going to do about the queues? Now, they tweeted out that they hear us loud and clear. They're actively working on the best way to add ranked solo without harming the health of other queuing modes. I think the quite obvious solution here is that they're going to remove solo casual queues and only have solo ranked queues in its place. Now, there's obviously going to be split opinions on that. I'm on the positive side, where I think the most times that we play solo non-ranked anyway, there's only 65 to 70 real players in a good day, and about 25 to 30 bots. Ranked mode launches with 64 players, so the amount of real players you're going to see is going to be the same. The loot is going to be better, assuming it's super settings, and the circle settings are going to be better, assuming it's super settings. The only downfall that I see here is, like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, you can expect a more campy tactical playstyle, which may not fit a lot of the aggro players, what they prefer. And B, the bigger thing is the cheaters. So I haven't played any ranked since patch 8.1, I think it was, or 8.3. And ranked was really fun. But you see nonstop complaints on Twitter and Reddit about how ranked is filled with cheaters these days. And one can only assume that those same cheaters are going to bleed into the ranked solo mode. And that's really going to kill it, because the whole point of ranked is to have a competitive space where you can really test your skills, see who can get, you know, the most wins, the most victories, the smartest player, all that kind of stuff. And it's pointless if those cheaters are going to be rampant. So I'm hoping that they're not, but that is a big concern. All right, now the next mode up on the list is the new zombie survival mode with what appears to be a nighttime mode added. And now I'm guessing that this is going to be strictly for like a Halloween special kind of thing. So maybe like a weekend event mode, kind of like the Fantasy Royale was. But what really interests me here is that there's a couple of things we can take out from it. Obviously, number one, it's night mode, which would be really cool. Number two, it's on Vikendi. You can see the ice on the ground, the little snow on the mountains, a little snow on the hill rather. And so we had a night mode Vikendi before they took out. So maybe they took it out to make a lot of improvements to it, you know, reduce the wind noise and fix the overall lighting of the map, which would be really, really cool. And there's also a lot of like, looks like trees or pylons stacked up behind here. If you enhance your brightness, you can really make it out. But I wonder if this is like a new mode that they're adding that just kind of sections off and it's like a zombie defense mode, or if there's some kind of building mechanic that they're adding into the game. I don't see that being the case. I don't see them adding a building mechanic in, but they did have in Fantasy Royale basically like the RPG elements where you could craft items together. So I wouldn't put it past them. But a couple other things you can point out. Obviously, there's flares in the ground that are highlighting the areas, whether or not those are actual flare drops or like in-hand flares to give you some kind of vision during this dark night mode. It's to be seen. But there is certainly a blue zone that can be taken out of the image. Like I said, it's on Vikendi. It's night mode. It's got cool looking zombies. I'm looking forward to it. All right, so next up is arena mode. Now, this has actually been out for, what, a week and a half, 2 weeks now. It's a really cool take on PUBG's version of Counter-Strike, where it's a menu buy system. You have to gain money after each round, and you kind of advance with a certain number of lives to the final round as a battle royale. And you can watch my latest video where I detail the gameplay on this and how the mode works, but it was very well received. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this added under one of those 2 open slots in the arcade mode section, you know, under Team Deathmatch. So look for that coming soon, I think. Speaking of Team Deathmatch, PUBG has confirmed that customizable spawn kits will be added to Team Deathmatch. What's not clear is how customizable, and what kind of attachment selection we're going to have. Are we going to have any other sites available? They even show images of an AUG and a Groza in here at some point too. So maybe they're just allowing you to customize that. So if you go to a loot crate, you know, you can just have the attachments you want on it. I don't know exactly what we can expect, but this is an awesome step in the right direction. It's very, very much needed to enhance the TDM experience. I personally use TDM daily. I'll play 2 or 3 rounds to warm up. You know, before I start my few-hour stream. And sometimes I even end with it if I just kind of want to wind down, put some music on, lower the game volume, and just kind of frag out for a bit, you know, just test out new aim settings or something. So really good to see this coming to PUBG. Pause. You know what? I'm going to make a whole nother video on this one. All right, so we'll just tease this. So Thunder Tier 1 has been announced for PUBG. It's a top-down tactical shooter developed by Frag Out Studios, and the parent company of PUBG, Krafton, is making this game. So I don't know exactly why it's going to be released, because we already have PUBG Mobile on mobile devices. It appears to be like a mobile experience, but there's some gameplay leaks of it, or trailer rather. I'll take a look at that. I'll put another video together and let you guys know my thoughts on it. Whew. All right, guys, that's season 9. That's our season 9 recap with all of our speculations, our confirmed, our non-confirmed things. I can't tell you how excited I am. I genuinely am. This is an awesome time for PUBG players. I really hope the community rallies around this new update. I hope they address some key things that the community's been screaming about. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are looking forward to the most about season 9, and of the speculation items that we've hinted at, like the revive system and that kind of stuff. What are you not looking forward to? What do you hope they don't screw up? Again, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for the love and support. I'm almost done my night shifts. I got like 2 more weeks of the 6-12 kind of split shift. So sorry for this crazy like stream schedule and YouTube schedule. I promise I'll get back to a normalcy in about a week or 2. All right, so hang in there. Thank you guys again for being here and watching today, and I hope you have a great day. I'm out. Peace.